Hello, you guys. This week's vlog is going to be a book of the month vlog. I literally just went to my mailbox, I'm just getting in from my mailbox, and I got my book of the month box. So I have gotten 4 book of the month boxes. We are in May, so I should have 5, but I skipped a month because I didn't want none of the books. And honestly, I could have skipped this month too, because the book I chose for this month is not a book that was in their new selections. I went back and got an old book for my selection. So I just want to read my book of the month books in this vlog. Nothing special. We're just gonna read the book of the month books. I have an idea, a goal for myself. I say it, I feel like every single video. The goal for myself is to read all of the new books that I get this year. So I can't read all of the books that I own. It's just not physically possible. I don't read that fast. I know there's some people who read like 200 books a year. That's not me. So I don't read fast. So my goal is just to at least read all of the new books that I get in this year, because there's just no point to pay full price for books that you're going to just let sit on your bookshelf. So some of these books I paid full price for, but like if I would have just bought them when I was ready to read them, I would have spent less money. So my goal is just, if something comes in, it immediately needs to get read. So I want to do that with my book of the month books. And so I have 4 book of the month books. The book I know we're going to read in this video is Rootless. So I have Rootless. I picked Rootless in January. I showed y'all when I picked it. January or February, I chose Rootless. Or maybe even March, I don't even remember. The next book I want to read, and I know we're reading in this video, is The Writing Retreat. I'm excited to read this book. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. So hopefully, I actually hope it's either good or bad. I don't want it to be mediocre. I'm so tired of mediocre thrillers. The book I don't know if I'm going to read, but I think I will try, is Advika and the Hollywood Wives. I picked up this book. It sounds interesting. Usually I know what book I'm going to get in book of the month. I'm just like, I'm going to get this book. But this was the pick where I was just like, I'm going to choose something I've never heard of. And I chose this book. So we might get into that. And then the book that I really hope when this week is done, I have read is, I really hope I read this book. I really do. I've been putting off reading this book because I didn't own it. But I own it now. And so I should just go ahead and read it. Babel. I chose Babel for my May book. Like I said, I chose a book that had already come out. Babel, whatever you want to call it. By R.F. Kuang. This is a chunky girl. So I'm hoping, if this vlog starts at the beginning of the week, I'm hoping to spend like Thursday, Friday, Saturday reading this book. That will be the goal. So to get the other 3 done, try to read like a book and a half a day. That's the goal. So anyways, we are going to just start with Rootless, because I want to read Rootless. It seems like a good time. So anyways, I'm sorry about the terrible lighting. That's just how these weekly vlogs are going to go. They're just going to be on a whim, you know. Nothing too professional. We just going to read books. So we are going to start with Rootless, and I will get into the vlog. Hello, you guys. Welcome to the start of this vlog. I am about to eat my breakfast. I have some cheese Danish from Whole Foods. So I think I'm going to warm one of those up. I have my coffee sitting behind the camera. I'm about to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I usually wouldn't rush to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I'm going to film a video today talking about it. So I need to watch it. I know, tough life for me, right? Yeah. I need to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I also need to do a podcast for my Patreon, and then I think I'm gonna do a live stream on my Patreon tomorrow. Anyway, I say all that to say y'all don't care. I have to do some work today. So that is what I'm about to get started on with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can't really give you guys an update on Rootless yet, because I'm only 30 pages in and I genuinely don't know what's going on. I believe we're just going back and forth in time, getting what's going on in this marriage. They're from London, and these two black people, they are in a marriage. Their marriage is crumbling in the present day, and I think we're going back in time to figure out like their love story, which like perfectly fine. I usually enjoy books like this. Like I don't usually like hate these types of books, so like I'm along for the ride. But I'm also just on page 30. Our main character's name is Sam and Effie. Those are our two characters, our two players on the board. And yeah, that's pretty much what is happening. Some things I have to get done today, hopefully, is I want to go to my P.O. box. And you guys, I also want to go to Target and get the Halle Bailey Little Mermaid doll. I bought one for my niece for her birthday. And so, like, when she was holding it, I was just like, I kind of want me one too. So I think I want to go pick up one of those, as well as I bought her the Little Mermaid book. They came out with a book that also has Halle's character in the book. I want to pick one of those up for myself too. What else? That's pretty much it. Today's a work day for me. I'll talk to you guys when I am doing more with Rootless or when I go to my P.O. box. Overall, I hate work days. I hate work days. I like having an open schedule. But anyways, how are you guys? I am going to sit here. The thing about watching, why I say like tough life but not really tough life, like I have no problem watching Housewives. The problem is you gotta take notes and watch Housewives, so you have like, so you know what you're gonna say in the video, like stuff you want to hit on in the video. And so like it becomes a chore more than anything, because like even the mundane scenes where nothing's going on, you gotta have your commentary. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drink this coffee. And yeah, I've been going for, I say this all of the time, I make better coffee than the people do at the coffee shops. I love at-home coffee. I like going to people's house and them making me coffee. I like making my own coffee. I like at-home coffee. I don't really like coffee shop coffee. Definitely not damn Starbucks. I do like Dunkin' coffee. But yeah, I make better coffee at home. I get to, you know, do all my portions. But anyways, oh, I did Peloton earlier. So that's already done. So working out, check. Yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Peace. Hello, you guys. Welcome back. I want to show you guys some books I bought. I got, when I was out of town, whenever I go out of town, that's when all my packages decide it's time for them to arrive. Okay, so the first book that I got was The Things We Do to Our Friends. Ask me why I bought this book. I can't even tell you now why I bought this book. I feel like one person I follow on Goodreads read it and gave it a good review, and I liked the cover. That is why I bought it. And so I found it on Pango Books for literally, I think I paid like $5, $6 for this book. And I said, okay, why not? Why not? Good cover. That on that. Like that's literally the only reason why I bought it. So I put in a Barnes & Noble order. Let's see what we have. We have Zora Books Her Happy Ever After. Zora Books Her Happy Ever After by Taj McCoy. Taj McCoy is on book club pick alert. I think I want to pick a Taj McCoy book for book club. This might be it. I also have another Taj McCoy book that might be picked for the book club, so that is on that alert. Then we have the sequel to Witchlings, which is called The Golden Frog Games. You guys know Witchlings is a middle grade series that I gave 5 stars last year, and so this is the second book in the series. Now, a novella did come out, and before bed some night I need to read the novella on Kindle. Before I get into this, I want to read the novella, because the novella is following this girl, the girl with the shitty parents, and so I want to read that. The last book that I bought, well, the last book in this box, is Happily Ever Afters. What does Barnes & Noble mean when it says Barnes & Noble exclusive edition? Like, what makes this edition more exclusive? Does the book not all look like this? Does every book not look exactly like this? Like, what makes this edition exclusive to Barnes & Noble? Asking for someone who didn't buy their book from Barnes & Noble, tell me if your book looks any different than this. When I saw it said Barnes & Noble exclusive on the website, I didn't want the signed copy because, like, I love Emily Henry, but, like, be serious. So I'm thinking about doing a book on hype romances, and I've heard nothing but good things, honestly, about this book. So this is going to go in the hype romance video. That's when I'll read that. Last thing, so I do have another box. Now this box, I have no clue what is inside of here. So, okay, so in this box, I do know what's in here. So, do you guys remember the book Have We Met? This is the sequel to Have We Met. Well, it's like a companion novel. And so I got my hands on it. This was all in the same Barnes & Noble order. What else did I buy? I bought Mimi Grace Along for the Ride. I don't know if this is a part of that same series with Make a Scene and whatever the hell. It was a book club book. I don't know if it's a part of that series. But I'm going to see. I don't think it is. I think the book that's actually a part of the series is coming out later this year. And the last book that I bought was Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I only bought it because I like the cover. I'm going to be honest. This was a cover buy. I think the cover's cute. That's all that I bought. So that was my book haul. I don't know. I will be reading all of these relatively soon, so be on the lookout. That's the good thing about me hauling books for you guys, is that they're going to get read this year. So if I don't read nothing else, I'm going to read these 7 books, okay? Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Hello, you guys. How are we? I have a little bit of an update on... Sorry, I'm plugging in my my keyboard, so I'm trying to plug it into the back of my desktop. When I went on vacation, I put my face in the water and I had a breakout around here where the chlorine was hitting me in the pool, and then obviously I was picking at the breakout, and now I have 3 perfectly little hyperpigmented spots on my face. You hate to see it. Anyways, I have some thoughts on Rootless, and also I am thinking about buying a camera. So let's start talking about Rootless. I'll put Rootless back here. Back here. Yeah. Stay up. Let's discuss Rootless. Rootless is fine. I didn't read the synopsis, therefore I don't know what's going on in the book. This book, I'm on page 60 or 70, and I have no clue what's going on in the book. I don't know what the point of the book is. I know what's going on in the book. We're going back in time and we're hearing the love story of Effie and Sam. The issue with this book is that it's a debut novel. I am a firm believer that no one's best book is a debut novel, because debut novels have the issue of all sounding like a debut novel. Debut novels have the issue of all reading like debut novels. When you're a debut novelist, I think you don't know yet how to tell a story without it sounding like you're telling a story. To really put the reader into the characters' like situation and put them into the world, it's really hard to do that. And I think when you're a debut novelist, you really don't know how to do it. So you don't like describe the setting well. You don't describe the characters and what they're doing. Nothing feels like an action. Everything feels like you're being told someone is doing something instead of a person is just doing that. I have this issue with like almost every single debut novel. I haven't had that issue with the novel I'm writing. Like everything is like the reader is being told this is happening, and nothing feels like the reader, like the characters in the book are actually doing it. It doesn't feel like some of this book takes place in Ghana, then we're back in the UK. None of it really feels like I'm there. Like I never feel like I'm in the scene. I just feel like I'm reading a story. And it doesn't help that the book is in third person. It's in third person. Is it in third person omniscient? No, I think it's just third person. It's in third person past tense. And so it even more so just feels like you're being told a story, if that makes sense. So Rootless is fine. It's just nothing that's just like fully compelling. The word is compelling. It's not compelling because of those issues with the way that it's written. But I just think it's the debut novel blues. Like I have this issue with every debut novel. I actually don't look, I shouldn't look as bad as I look. I had on makeup on. I had makeup on before this and I haven't fully taken the makeup off. So I have mascara that's running right here. Like I promise you I don't look that, but like I'm not that busted. So yeah, that's been my issues with Rootless. Like fine, but nothing to write home about. So that's Rootless. Anyway, I'm on Best Buy. I'm on Best Buy because I want to buy a camera. I film these vlogs on my Canon G7X. I own a Canon I own a Canon SL3, and I think I want to buy a Canon R10 for vlogging. I could use it for vlogging and I could use it for filming videos, but I would really just use it for vlogging. This camera is fine. I think this camera is like a step above your phone, even though I hate the way the new iPhones, I hate the new iPhone cameras. They're too confusing for no reason, but this is better than your phone, obviously, but like something about this camera I don't fully love. I mean, I've been using it for a year now, maybe a little over a year now. So like I like this camera, but I think it's time to upgrade. I think it's time to upgrade, and I want to upgrade to the Canon EOS R10. I've been watching videos. I thought about doing the Mark something, the Mark 10, the Mark something, Mark whatever. I thought about doing that one, but then I saw a video of someone saying Canon might discontinue that one, and so I was just like, I don't want to deal with it. I would do it. The price difference between the two is not that much, but then I'm seeing that, what the hell is this? Okay, because you have to keep in mind, I just want to sit here and talk to y'all. Like that is it. I just want to sit up here and talk to y'all and just have it look better. That's it. So I don't know. I like this camera. I think I would take this camera more on the go. This camera is small, but do y'all see how I just lost focus? And everyone complains about the autofocus on this camera, yet we all still get this camera and then we all complain about the autofocus. It's just one of those things. So like I just know not having to worry about the autofocus on this and not being in focus, and the camera quality obviously on this one is going to be better. But I'm just sitting over here trying to figure out what's the difference between the two of these, which one I should buy. I think I'm going to probably just get the more expensive one. And if I don't like, I'm really bad at returning electronics. Ooh, the kit lens in this is huge. That's the difference. The difference is how big the kit lens is. I don't want a humongous lens. Why? Because I'm just using it to vlog, and I like my camera that I use to record my videos. It gets the job done. So do I really need a lens this? No, I'm not going for the big lens. I'm not going for the big lens. I am going to go for the standard one. So I get to save some money then, because I don't need that big lens, because that would make this all pointless. Yeah, so no, the difference is a lens, and I think 18 to 45 millimeter lens is fine. You got 18 to 150 millimeter lens. Like, what am I trying to do? Like, that's the thing when I be watching these review videos for these cameras and stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't even know how to use all this. I am not a camera girl. I don't want to be a camera girl. Like, I'm not that. Like, I just want to film videos. That's it. I just want to do vlogs. So I think I am just going to do, yeah, I'm going to buy that one. Anyways, I went to Whole Foods yesterday and got some steak kebabs, some jerk chicken steak kebabs. That I think I'm gonna cook tonight. I don't even like jerk chicken like that, but they look good. So I think I'm gonna cook that. I ate lunch. I'm gonna read some more Rootless. I want to finish Rootless because tomorrow I want to start another book to get these things going, but we'll see. If I haven't made it up in my head that I'm gonna finish something, I don't do it. Like, I have to tell myself I'm gonna do something, and that's how I do it. Anyways, I have to wash my hair tomorrow, so that's that. Other than that, I ain't got nothing to say. I will talk to you guys later, and my camera won't be here. Unfortunately, they don't have the camera at the Best Buy closest to my home. The Best Buy they have it at is pretty far. Not worth it to me. I'm not doing that. Oh, the camera I was going to get was the EOS M50 Mark II. But that was $600. That was $600. Or you could get the one with the two lenses. And I definitely don't need two lenses. It's a cute camera though. Anyways, I will talk to you guys, which, quiet as it's kept, my Canon G7X costs more than this. I don't understand why this camera costs so much money. This camera costs ridiculous. I guess, I don't know what this, maybe I'm just not using my right shit. This camera costs $699. And it's on back order. And the other one, the Mark, that's probably what I should have got last time. Instead of this camera, I should have got the Mark 50. Because this is $600. This is $600. There's a discount going on, so it's usually $699. This one's $6, so they cost the same. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get the R10. About to place that order now. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Hello, you guys. Good morning. I'm on my laptop eating a cheese Danish from Whole Foods, drinking a coffee. That's what I'm about to do. And then once I finish that, I am going to wash my hair. I just did Peloton. And so I had to come on here and give you guys my final thoughts on Rootless. I'm gonna be honest with you, this book could be 2.5, 3 stars. I didn't really enjoy this book. This book has the debut novel jitters. I think of books like Your Driver is Waiting. I think of books like Night Crawling, where it feels like the writer of the book doesn't have the tools yet to tell the story that they're trying to tell. Somewhere in there is a really amazing book, and that's just not the book we got. This book just feels distant. This book doesn't really pull the reader in. You never feel grounded in the story. And also, as I was reading the book, I noticed that you really didn't know much about the characters. There wasn't enough building the characters up so you understood the decisions they made. You really understood their relationship. You always felt like you kind of didn't know what the characters were doing or who these characters really were. And I think the time jumping didn't do it any favors, because you never stayed in a moment too long or for a long time. You were constantly jumping through time every single chapter. They felt even more distant. They felt even more far away. You just never got these moments that affected you. So when you're going through the story and the story develops and things happen in the plot, I'm gonna be real honest with you, you don't care. You really don't care. You're reading an interesting story. Like, the story is interesting enough to keep your attention, but there's no stakes. There's no stakes. You never feel like you care about this married couple, whether they stay together, whether they break up, what happens to them, and you don't care. I just think that's just the writing, and this being a debut novel, it read like a debut novel, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, Crystal will write more books, and I think they will be better than this, because there is potential in this book. This book is well written in the sense as its prose is good. I just don't think it's written in a way that really sucks you in. This type of story, and I can like a story like this. I usually do like stories like this. This was just not compelling. The word is, it's not boring, it's just not compelling. It's nothing you need to go run and tell anyone about. So that's how I feel. We're gonna move on to our next book, which is The Writing Retreat. I am so excited to read The Writing Retreat. I want to know what happens in this book, but the only problem with The Writing Retreat is I gotta give a little disclaimer. I usually don't like books like this. I set myself up every single time thinking I'm going to like these types of books. I don't like locked room mysteries. I do not. The only time I like a locked room mystery is honestly Agatha Christie. Like, I don't know why Agatha Christie I'm able to like them then, but like in degular locked room mystery, I don't like them. I don't really like when people go to a destination and people start dying. I find them kind of boring. And then, I don't know. So like, I do want to start with, I'm a little nervous. But anyways, I am about to watch the Renaissance World Tour via Twitter. Via Twitter. I don't see Beyonce until August. Yeah, it's bad for me. I don't see Beyonce till August. I see Beyonce 3 times in August. I am so happy. I am so happy. But that's a long time for now. So I'm gonna wash my hair, then watch the Renaissance World Tour via Twitter, and then read some of The Writing Retreat. My hair will be back in twist again because that's just how I want to do my hair. My hair will be back in twist after I wash it. So yeah. I had a really good Tabata Peloton session. I'm doing good there. And I'm doing good on these books. We're on book 2. So let's get on into it, okay? Peace. Hello, you guys. I'm here to give you guys my first update on The Writing Retreat. I really don't feel like this book needs a lot of explanation. It's about a group of girls who go on a writing retreat held by their favorite author. So there's this famous feminist author. She invites a bunch of people to a writing retreat every year. I believe it's every year. And basically, our main character in this story, she got invited to the writing retreat after someone dropped out of the writing retreat. But the only catch is her friend, who she is no longer friends with and is kind of enemies with now, is going on the writing retreat too. And there's some bad blood between them, and more will unfold once they get on the writing retreat. I am on part 3 of this book, so I'm on page 161, and I've got to be honest with you, it's doing exactly what I don't like about these types of books. I call these types of books where like something bizarre and mysterious is going on with a bunch of people on an island, on a retreat, on a vacation, in a house, and you don't know what it is until you know what it is. But in the meantime, until you find out what's going on, you're just reading about these characters and the relationship these characters have with each other. This book started off really strong to me. I thought our main character had a good narrative voice. I thought there was enough mystery, there was enough intrigue, but at the halfway point of this book, nothing's going on. There's the relationship she has with the friend who she's no longer friends with, I find completely boring. I find the lady who threw the writing retreat to be not as mysterious as like the book wants her to be. I'm just kind of like, get cut to the flick. Like, what are we here for? And then so for 160 pages, they're at this writing retreat and like nothing's happening at the retreat. Yeah, some spooky things are going on, you know, a little bit of mystery, but like nothing that really is keeping me into the story. And that's why I don't like these types of books, because I always find the characters not interesting enough to carry an entire book where really nothing is actually happening until something happens. The best comparison I can have for this book, honestly, I think the book I'm about to show you is very oddly similar. 9 Perfect Strangers. 9 Perfect Strangers and this book have a lot of similarities. I think it's totally a coincidence, but they do have a lot of similarities where these people all come to this place and someone is hosting it and invited them, and this host is making them do strange things and bizarre things. In this book, they get drugged in this book too, and like weird things are going on. People are lying about why they're actually here, what they actually do, but all in all, nothing really happens in the book until something happens and then the book ends. They feel exactly the same. The thing is, I enjoy the hell out of Nine Perfect Strangers. I thought Nine Perfect Strangers was a really good book because I think the characters were more interesting. Their dynamics were more interesting. There was a lot more meat on the bone. And this story, we're really only following one person and everyone else is a side character. And because we don't have any POVs from everyone else, these side characters are not interesting. The friend is not interesting because all we know is from our main character, and she's also not interesting. So no, I am not enjoying this book. We'll see. We'll see what the plot twist is or what the whodunit is. But at the beginning, first 50 pages, I was here. Thought this book was really good. We're dwindling down to the end and I really ain't got much for it. But anyways, I'm about to eat dinner. Well, I'm cooking dinner right now. I'm gonna have some salmon. And yeah, watch the Renaissance World Tour via Twitter. Excellent. Like, the woman Beyonce is and continues to be. Yeah, I did some laundry, so that's done. But yeah, I'm just about to enjoy my night. I might read a little bit more later. No time soon, maybe before bed, but I do want to finish this book because I would love to start on Babel, which is right there. I would love to start on Babel tomorrow so I can make sure I get it done by the time this video. I want this video to be over. I always say weekly vlogs by Saturday is a chop. Like, I'm not going over Saturday because if I go over Saturday, you guys won't get the vlog. Because like I have to give myself a cutoff, you know. So if one book gets read in a week, one book gets read in a week. But I think I want to start Babel tomorrow and it will make my life a lot easier, so I'm not rushing to finish it on Friday and Saturday. If I just, you know, it's Wednesday, by the way, today's Wednesday, hey. So I need to get that done. And then if I can get Babel done Thursday and Friday, because I got a lot of work done this week already. So tomorrow I'm running errands. Like, I have a full day of errands to get done. But once I'm done with that, I can read for the rest of the day. If I what, Kenya, what the hell are you trying to say? Oh, if I can get Babel done Thursday, Friday, then Saturday I can 100%, but I'll force myself to read at Vera and the Hollywood Wives, but I don't want to make no promises. I made a promise that we read Jar of Hearts and that didn't happen, so no promises. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later and hopefully the writing retreat gets better. Hopefully it's one of those things where the beginning's good, middle's bad, end picks up. I'm hoping that. I'm wishing that on this vlog, okay? Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Hello, you guys. So I was an idiot. I ran so many errands today and didn't take you guys with me. Went to my P.O. box. I got my eyebrows threaded. Hurt like hell, but like we bake. What else did I do? Oh, I went to go get some fixtures for my house. I went to Target. I got a wax. I did a whole bunch of stuff today. But the reason why I wasn't picking up my camera is because I was like, I don't have anything to update you guys on, like on a new book. But I forgot, I haven't even updated you guys on the writing retreat, and there's a reason for that. God, I dislike this book. I honestly would have DNF'd this book if not for like this vlog, and I feel like I've DNF'd a lot of books this year. Like, I feel like all the popular books I've read, The Ninth House, Love on the Brain, The Paris Apartment, Hook, Line, and Sinker, all the popular books I read this year, I DNF'd, and so this is another popular book, and so I said, let me just get through it. No, I'm giving this book 2 out of 5 stars, and I'm only giving this book 2 out of 5 stars because I don't think I can genuinely give a review, because I'm gonna be honest, the last 70 pages I did not give a shit. Like, I was already zoned out. Like, I did not care. I think this book, so let me say some like honest criticism, this book needed multiple POVs in my opinion. I don't think the main character of this book is strong enough to carry what this book is trying to do. So when you get to like what's going on, what's happening at this writing retreat, you don't care about any of the characters because she's the only character you've heard from. And so if this book had multiple POVs and then the people who are a part of everything that's going on everything starts to be revealed, I think you get more of an effect that the book is trying to give you. But not knowing really any of the characters, meeting these characters, you know, sporadically, just doesn't work. This book has smut in it, which like isn't necessary. Like, the sex scenes in this book are just like, oh, spare me. Yeah, no, I didn't like anything about this book, so I am going to give it 2 out of 5 stars, 2 leaning 1.5, and we're just going to move on to Babel. Like, I don't even got nothing else to say. We are just going to move on to Babel. That is not for me, so I'm in the number of the people who don't like the book. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what to say. It's just a book that's not for me. But anyways, I'm actually about to go get my nails done. I'm on my second coffee of the day. I had the coffee I made at home, and then I went and got a coffee while I was running my errands. So like, I'm not hyped though. I think it's because I'm hungry. The coffee can only do but so much. So anyways, I'm about to go into the nail salon. I'll talk to you guys later. My eyebrows look great. I always forget, because I told you guys I don't get my eyebrows done, but something told me to just go get a thread. And like, did that shit hurt like hell? Yes. But like, every time I get my eyebrows done, I realize like, you're that bitch. Like, who has brows like this? Like, this is no tint. This is natural, baby. Like, you have a full face of eyebrows. Like, girl, a lot of the girls wish. Anyways, let me go inside. I will talk to you guys once I start figuring out what we're gonna read next. I don't know if I want to get into Babel. If we get into Babel, I can finish. I know I'll finish Babel, but then it's just like, ooh, I do have a few days. I got a little bit of wiggle room. I might can read the Housewives book, but I think we're just gonna read Babel, and if I can read the Housewives book, we'll do that. So that's the thought. Okay, peace. Hello, you guys. It has been a long time since I've talked to you guys. Quite honestly, it's been a couple of days, but we have to discuss Babel. We have to discuss Babel. This book is a task. You guys did not tell me that reading this book is a task. Sometimes I read books that are really long. I try my best not to. I'm a very 350 girl, 380 at most. I do not like long books. But sometimes when I read long books, they don't feel long. Like, there's breakups in the book. The books might have like a map or different types of writing, which it makes the word count not seem that long. Babel's not that. Oh, Babel is words. Even though this book is broken up into like books and parts, it doesn't change that. Ooh, you feel every single page in this book. This book is 100% a task. But I will say that, you know what, I'm not enjoying it. I'm going to tell you what Babel is about to the best of my ability. So in this book, we are following a man named Robin Swift. His mother dies of cholera and he is left an orphan. But then this professor comes and visits him and is like, you have special abilities and I want to take you to England. He's in China. I want to take you to England and I want you to like hone your studies. I want you to become stronger, learn all the old languages of the world, the new languages of the world, and then maybe there will make something out of you. And so Robin Swift doesn't have any place to go. Robin Swift is not his real name. That's the English name he adopts because he is able to I wouldn't say code switch. He's able to like assimilate well because he has like Eurocentric, you know, a Eurocentric look to him. So he's able to kind of adopt this Eurocentric type of demeanor. Even though people do know he's Chinese, he does look Chinese. He does have a Eurocentric way about him that makes him able to adapt. And so he adopts the name Robin Swift and he gets to England, and I think for 10 years, maybe a decade, he learns the way of the English. He starts to fit into English society and he learns a lot of stuff in hopes that one day he will be able to study at Oxford. Well, that day does come and Robin Swift does make it to Oxford. When he makes it to Oxford, he starts studying in the department of Babel. And at Babel, he meets a bunch of other people who are just as smart as him and good at translating. And what he is going to do at Babel is he is going to use translation and use this knowledge. He's getting knowledge about language, knowledge about magic, knowledge about silver, all of this stuff in order to basically make the English empire very, very strong. Like they are literally taking these people from impoverished places or people who are just impoverished, taking them and getting them to like translate magic and translate language and all of that stuff in order to make England more powerful. And basically Robin Swift is doing this. He loves being at Babel. He feels like he has a purpose, but then one day he starts to question things and feel like maybe Babel is not everything that he thinks it is, and maybe the professor that came to like save him from being an orphan isn't who he quite says he is. And that is Babel. I am going to be honest, the first, up until like page, by the way, I'm on chapter 19. We just got into book 4. Up until, I would say page 200, I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. I couldn't believe this is the book that so many people who I adore and respect were just blown away with last year. I'm just like, am I missing something? Am I missing something? This is the book y'all was blown away by. I found it very boring. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I know this isn't my thing, but even with that, I can appreciate, even though like Cersei. I can appreciate that Cersei is good. I can appreciate that Cersei was a good book, even though it wasn't my thing. I just found this really, really boring. There's a lot of time jumps. So this book does this thing where something will happen, but you don't experience the thing that's happening. You're just quickly moved on to the next scene, and then you're told this thing happened. So things will occur and conflict will happen, but we don't stay for the conflict. We're quickly moved on to the next thing and then told what happened in that conflict that moved us to the next thing. And so it made the book very, you know, a little unstable for me. And made the book, like, I just wasn't in it. That's, if you've noticed from all of my reviews, my thing is about being present in a book. I want to feel like I am a part of a book, and I didn't feel a part of it because of that. It didn't feel very action-packed. It was a lot of plot, a lot of character building, but I wasn't in it. But then something switched, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I just started to get into it. I was just like, oh, I see what this book is doing. I'm happy I didn't give up on it because I thought about doing that. Something switched, and I want to finish this book. It's too much for me to finish tonight. I am going to have to finish it in the morning, but something switched, and I was like, oh, I get it. I get what this book is trying to do. This book is a slow build. To me, this book is a slow build, but I've done the work. I've done the reading, and now I'm getting to that crescendo, and it's all coming. Yeah, this is how you write a book. I appreciate greatly the amount of detail put in the book, only because it's not like I necessarily need all the detail that's going on in this book. I just have to give credit where credit is due. R.F. Kuang doing so much research for this book and being so thoughtful with this book. And even though it's a work of fiction, being so intentional about what elements they put in this book, I have to give credit where credit is due there. Anything else I deeply want to touch on with this book? Overall, I'm enjoying it. We're shaping up for a 4-star read. I think I'm looking at 4. Which, child, I was about to give it 2. Asked me a day ago if this is going to be a 2-star. But I'm really enjoying this book. It's a good time. It's a really good time. I feel smart. Like, reading this book, I feel smart. But anyways, how are you guys? I am about to play The Sims. That is what I am about to do. I'm sorry about that light back there. It's just really, I don't know. I don't know what you guys want me to do about that light. Yeah, I'm about to play The Sims. I have been kind of stressed lately. My turtle's sick. My turtle's not sick. My turtle has an eye infection. His eyes are swollen. I'm taking him to the vet on Tuesday, but I'm just so sad for him because I can just tell he's not as spunky as he usually is. And like, so his eyes are sore. It's either a vitamin A deficiency or he has bacteria in his eye. So it's just like, but I do a really good job at cleaning my turtle's tank, like a really good job. So that's unfortunate, but I am going to take him to the vet. It also could be his diet. I probably could do better at giving my turtle a better diet, but my turtle is greedy and he likes protein. But I probably need to do better at giving him like leafy greens and stuff like that. We're gonna go over all of it at the vet, but it's been stressing me out, you know, because like I can't ask the turtle what's wrong with him, and like it's not and so I just feel so bad because he's not a spunky self. But anyways, I am watching the TV show Harlem. At least that's what I watched earlier. I totally forgot a season 2 came out. I told myself when the season 2 came out I was gonna watch the season 2, and then I never watched the season 2. And so, but I came upstairs to play The Sims for a little bit because I need to finish building this house. I'm a builder in The Sims. What type of Sims player are you? If you play The Sims 4, what type of Sims player are you? I am a game player, because I say that I'm a game. Some people don't play games in The Sims. Like, I know some people who just do photography in The Sims. Like, they like to dress their Sims up and take pictures of them. I know some people who just like to do cast. They just like to like use The Sims as a dress-up game. I am a family style player, and I'm a builder. I love building in The Sims. That's my #1 thing I like to do in The Sims. Like, if I just want to kill some time, I will literally just go and build a house in The Sims. That's my thing. I love building in The Sims. I love furnishing. That's my big thing. I love furnishing places in The Sims. Like, it just scratches an itch. I love it so much. So that's what I'm about to do, because my Sim, I downloaded the foster care mod, and so I got foster kids. Then I had a pregnancy via like science, so I had twins, and then I think my girl is pregnant herself, so we had a whole bunch of kids, and so we had to move out of my small place, and I am building a new place for my Sim. So anyways, tell me what type of Sims player you are. I will talk to you guys later, probably tomorrow, when I finish Babel in the afternoon. I'm going to start reading it in the morning and try to finish it in the afternoon, and we will see if I'll be able to read the last book of the month book I got this year. We'll see. Anyway, peace. Hello you guys, I am here to give you guys my final updates on Babel. I don't know what to rate this book. If I rated this book just on my enjoyment, I would give it like 3.5, 4 stars. A thing that as I was reading, I was like, this is an issue I have. The characters in this book, so like they all meet at Babel, and they're supposed to be like this big friend group, these people who have this like really strong bond, and they've been through so much, and they've been exploited and all this other stuff. I never felt that way when things happen to certain characters in this book. I don't feel this deep care that it happens to them, and so I don't know if that's just me as a person, or is that an issue with writing. I am going to say I just do not love this book the way everyone loves this book. Do I regret reading this book? Absolutely not. The thing I love the most about this book is the history, like the stuff that you learn in this book. Like, I loved it. I loved it every time we would get like information on how certain words came to be, how certain civilizations came to be, how certain countries and came to power. I thought that stuff was so interesting and so well done. This book is so thoughtful, and I really enjoyed it. But like, when it comes to my enjoyment, 3.5. The characters didn't hit for me. And sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. What do I want to give this book? I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. I am gonna give this book 4 stars, 3.5 for my enjoyment, then add a star for, like, add half a star for like how I appreciate this book, but I just don't think this book is fully for me. It wasn't as fun as I expected this book to be. So 3.5 out of 5 stars for me on that, but I am happy I read it, but I didn't love it enough to go get the Fairy Loot cover, because I told myself if I read Babel and really enjoyed Babel, I would go spend the money to go get the Fairy Loot cover on resale, because I love the Fairy Loot cover. But I'm just on this book. So it's just not for me, I think. And I've heard recently a lot of other people say that the book is not for them. I feel like the influx of love came during like the arc season of that book, when a bunch of people got arcs of the book. They all were like, this book is so fucking amazing. And then like it came out and people were like, this book is so fucking amazing. But I feel like in the past like 4 or 5 months, you've heard people be like, less, this is amazing, which makes me believe that it's more of a hype thing. Like if you go in here like not expecting anything, you could really love this book and what it does. But when this book has been hyped to hell, it you know, your expectations are really, really high for it. And I don't know for me if it lives up for that. So I am really happy I got this as a book of the month book. So because I feel like for some reason I just feel like when I get a book on book of the month, like no harm, no foul. Like, it's not real money. It is real money. It just feels like it's not real money. And honestly, you guys, I think I can read this book. The last book I got this year for book of the month is Avika and the Hollywood Wives. I truly believe that I can read this book. I'm trying to see, like, do I have anything on my schedule tomorrow? Yeah, I'm going to read this book. It is Asian and Pacific Islander month, and so I just feel like I should show some support to Kirthana Ramasetti. I feel like I should show some support to Kirthana Ramasetti. I haven't heard much about this book on the internet, so I just feel like this would be perfect. Show some support. And so I am going to read this book in this video. So yeah, one more book for this video. I know, I'm knocking them out. This is like, I know this vlog, I haven't done much in this vlog, but like reading wise, I've done so much reading because I've just been sitting at home all day watching Living Single. Speaking of Living Single, it upsets me that so many people bring up Living Single only when they're talking about Friends. Like, only when it's time to drag Friends do people bring up Living Single. Living Single is too good a show to only be brought up when it's time to drag Friends. Like, Living Single is literally, I think, one of the best sitcoms, like, ever. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And it deserves to be brought up in that context and not be brought up in the context of dragging another show. That's my thoughts. Living Single is so fucking good. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Peace. I am about to eat a seafood boil. Here is the thing. I really don't like snow crab, so I probably won't eat much of that. But I have black mussels and shrimp. That is my gig. I love me some black mussels and I love me some shrimp. So I will talk to you guys later, okay? Peace. Hello, you guys. So I am a lying liar who lies. I'm not reading this book. Not for this video, at least. I don't know when I'm going to get back to this book. This book started in a place that I just didn't want to be in. The main character of this book so far is really like, woe is me. I don't like main characters who like beat themselves up and like think they're such a low life and don't stand up for themselves and let people treat them any type of way. And when someone treats them any type of way, they see that as like a mark of who they are as a person. I don't like main characters who almost come across as pathetic. And that's how this main character is starting to go across. And then this story starts off with her being attracted to a 67-year-old man and she's 26. And so I was just like, I'm sure this book does get interesting. I just don't want to have to like read this all day. And then not like, I wasn't liking it. I wasn't liking it to like make this an all day read because that's what I was gonna do. I was just gonna read it all day long. But then I was just like, She crushing on a 67-year-old man. Let me get through this. It actually sounds kind of interesting. I just read the synopsis of like how the rest goes. It actually sounds kind of interesting. I don't know, you guys. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to see how the day goes and see if I get back into this because it sounds kind of interesting. Like, but what the synopsis, mind you, literally, I'm on page 39. I'm on page 39, 40. So, like, it's, I haven't read much, but I don't know. Like, I'll be back, and we'll see, okay? Hello, you guys. Afro Kenya is here. My eyes are red because I literally just washed my hair. And then that's why I have an afro. I'm gonna have to put braids in my hair. But I need to come on here and tell you guys about Avika and the Hollywood Wives. So, as you can probably tell by the runtime of this video, I continued to read this book yesterday. And you know what? I'm happy that I did. So let me tell you what this book is fully about. In this book, we have a failing screenwriter named Avika. She is an Indian woman. And one day she is working the after party of the Oscars because she is a bartender. I believe she's a bartender. And basically she meets like this really successful producer. He just won an Oscar and he chats her up at the party at the Oscar bar. He chats her up. They hit it off right away. There's flirtation, and eventually, his name is Jillian. He invites Avika on a date. They start dating, and they end up getting married. So she is in marital bliss, even though this man is 41 years older than her. She is in marital bliss. She is so excited. She is so happy. But then Jillian's ex-wife, Evie, she dies. And she dies, and in her will, her public will, like everyone can read it, she puts in her will that she wants to give a videotape and $1 million to Jillian's child bride. That's what she calls her. So Avika. But the only way she can get the $1 million is if she divorces Jillian. So Jillian is like, don't listen to Evie. Evie's crazy. Like, don't even pay that no mind. But of course, Avika does start to pay it mind. And she's like, I'm going to figure out what happened in my husband's past marriages because he has been married many times. And I am going to figure out why this woman wants me to divorce this man. But she's trying to do it behind her husband's back because she told him she would let it go. Okay, the thing about this book is, I think the issue of why I'm not raving about this book, even though it seems right up my alley, there's a tone issue in this book, in my opinion. This book reads thrillery, domestic thrillery, like this mystery, this husband who's up to no good, this controlling, possibly abusive husband. But the tone gives contemporary. The tone is giving like contemporary girl just trying to do what she wants to do in life. Like just gives contemporary learning about an Indian woman. So there's a weird tone thing. Another issue I have with the book, there's a weird time issue too. You never know how much time is going by. Like 1 minute she's just talking to the guy in the bar, the next minute they're married, the next minute Evie is dead, the next minute she's looking into it, she's meeting up with this person, she's meeting up with that person, she finds out this person. The timing is really weird, and so it's really hard to know how the characters really feel about one another based on time. Like in a book, you can imply two characters are close based on the fact that you know, okay, these characters have been together for a year, they've been together for 2 years, or she's been in this relationship dealing with this stuff for 6 months. You can like tell people's relationship based on time, but the time is very ambiguous in this book, so it feels a little out of place. Another thing that feels out of place, these wives. So she keeps finding out stuff about the Hollywood wives, and something about it just feels a little distant. Something about it just doesn't feel real. Something, and of course this like whole like premise is ridiculous, right? But like we're here for the fun. But you never really care about the wives, and you get inserts from like the wives' interviews. You learn things about their career, and it should be so much fun. But the wives just don't seem like they don't seem immersed in the story. To me, you care more about Avika trying to get away from this man. To me, that's the strongest part of this. But so much of the book is about the wives. But I say that and also want to go back on that because also for this to be Avika and the Hollywood wives, you only care about the Hollywood wives when you care about the Hollywood wives, if that makes any sense. Like, it almost feels like you have to get off the highway to go care about the Hollywood Wives and then get back into the main story. It just doesn't all feel like everything is coming together for me. So that's my opinions right now. Right now, I'm giving it 3.5. It is enjoyable. I do want to know what's going on. There's nothing that I want to put down. Like, I'm happy that I read this book, but I don't know. Something is just not fully hitting home for me. And this book should fully hit home with me because it's so up my alley. It's so up my alley. So those are my opinions. I'm going to put some braids in my hair. I have to take my turtle to the vet today. And then I'm going to come home and read while I watch a basketball game. I'll read and finish this book and give you guys my final thoughts, okay? Peace. Hello, you guys. We are here for final thoughts on Evika and the Hollywood Wives. This is a 2.5 book. I gotta be honest with you. This book just didn't work for me. The writing of this book didn't work for me. Everything that came together didn't work for me. Let's start off with the plot of this book. The plot of this book just seems fake, and I get it. This is a work of fiction. It's supposed to feel fake. But no, I'm supposed to be immersed in the story and feel like this is something that could happen. If I suspend a little bit of disbelief, this is something that could happen. And this book just doesn't feel that way. It just feels a bit silly. The perfect word for this is unserious. This book is just a bit unserious. Another thing that happens in this plot is if the book needs to continue, our main character will find out new information. So like, boom, there's another wife, or boom, this is what her husband did. Like, it just seems like there was just more to uncover just to keep the story going. And then when you find out like what everything is and why everything is what it is, it's just not that interesting. I think it's because you stop caring. It's not interesting in the end. You're just like, what am I still here for? This book is long and for no reason. Like I said in my past, when I came back the first time, this is about the Hollywood wives. So the wives of this woman's husband, her current husband. They're not, the wives don't feel real. You don't feel anything for the wives. Like I said, it feels like a fake story. These don't feel like real women who were married to this man. And that gets me into my other issue of the book. The main character of this book is ditzy and silly. She's ditzy and silly. I think that the age of the husband in this makes this book also unserious. You guys, he is 41 years older than her. He's 67. And so you continue to ask yourself, why would this 26-year-old woman who claims to have a great head on her shoulders, why would she marry this man? And so when things get to going wrong in the relationship, you're kind of like, girl, why did you marry this man? And it doesn't feel like you're saying that in like a victim blamey type of way, because so far her husband ain't really done nothing to her. Like, her husband doesn't do anything terribly bad to her. So like, it's not nothing to victim blame about. It's just like everything you would expect to happen when you marry someone 41 years older than you is happening. And so it's just like the book doesn't do a good job at explaining Evika as a character and what would get her in the situation that she's in. And so it's just like, why am I here? Like, that's all of it just seems really fake, really convenient. So no, this one did not work for me, unfortunately, because I really did want this one to work. Whoa, this video was a flop. I just think, what are we in, May? May as a reading month is just not going to be a good reading month for me. Thankfully, next week's vlog, I'm reading some books I'm really, really excited to get into, so it might end up better. But I'm going to wrap up this vlog in the next clip, and yeah, we'll talk about the mess that was this entire week. Peace! That is our time, you guys. In this video, I just wanted to hang out with you guys and read the books that I picked for my book of the month selections this past year, it's been 5 months, but I skipped 1 month. So yeah, in this year, I wanted to read my book of the month selections, and I did. And we're gonna have to make some changes, because clearly I am not picking the right books, although I feel good though at the end of this. Like, for me, book of the month is just, book of the month ain't paying me, so I don't want to do too damn much. giving him too much credit. But like for me, book of the month is just something I go on there and I pick a book and it's like fun for me. I don't really put too much thought into it, and I don't feel bad when a book doesn't pan out, because it's almost just like, it's like a mystery box for me. Just like, let's see if I like this book. I never really fully believe I'm going to like the book that I picked for book of the month, but let's go through what we read. The first book that we read in this video was Rootless. I have not thought about Rootless since I finished Rootless. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. We could go as low as giving it a 2. For me, this book never really felt grounded. I never felt like I was inside of this story. This book feels like a book that isn't fully fleshed out. The characters aren't interesting. The characters, whenever they do something, you're not heavily affected by what they do, because you never get a real sense of who these people are. You're being told what the characters are doing. You're being told how the characters act, but you never really feel it. And I honestly believe this is because this book is a debut novel and the tools just aren't there yet to really immerse you in a book that honestly could be really interesting. But just as it is, I don't love it. The next book that we read in this video was The Writing Retreat. I'm going to be so honest with you. I think this is the worst book of the 4. The Writing Retreat just, I think it's clunky. I think it's really clunky. I think the book is trying to do something that could be interesting. It just wasn't done well. The main character in this book, I think it's just poorly written. They're not interesting to carry this type of story. I think this book could have been better if there was multiple POVs, because when you get to the what is happening, which I don't necessarily hate, when you get to the what is happening, I just don't feel like the book set that up well. You know, it doesn't feel like, wow, I didn't see this coming, or wow, this was earned. It just feels like, okay, I quickly lost interest. When it got to the midpoint of this book, I was just like, I've had enough. And so, like I said in my clip for this, it got to the point where I just didn't care no more. So I can't even give this a fair review, because I promise you in the last 100 pages, I ain't care no more. I did not care anymore. I didn't like the sex scenes. I just didn't like it. So that book is going to get a 2 out of 5 stars. The next book that we read was Babel. I appreciated this book. I think this book is excellently written. I learned so much reading this book, things that I did not know. I have a degree in English, so I love learning things about language and how words come to be. I love it so much. And then I love history. So I love all of that. But when it comes to my enjoyment of this book, it's not very high. I think in me appreciating the book, I would give this book 4 stars. And my enjoyment, I would give it 3. So I'm going to give this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think I came in here with too high of expectations, and they weren't really met. I never really felt, once again, with all of these books, I think I feel the same way. Didn't feel a deep connection with any of the characters. A lot of the things that happen in this book, there's interesting things that happen in this book, but they don't affect me in the way they should, because the characters don't, I don't really care about them very much. I really didn't care. This book does this thing where it like almost goes over the exciting thing. So like we'll be in a scene, something exciting happens, but we don't stay there to see the excitement. Instead, it's like, okay, so this happened when that happened, and we're moving on. And I think that stopped me from feeling attached to the characters the way I needed to. So 3.5 out of 5 stars, didn't love it. And I've heard other people say that. I kind of think you're in the company of, you just love this book and you think everything R. Kwong does is just like amazing and like good for you, or you're in the side with Babel where you're just like, not my favorite thing in the world. And that's where I am. Not my favorite thing in the world. I honestly want to like it more than I do. Like I'm looking for that Project Hail Mary. I keep reading these like fantasy and science fiction books, because I am waiting for my Project Hail Mary. I'm waiting for my Addie LaRue, where it's just like, whoa, I did not expect to like this book, but I really like this book. Middle Game wasn't that. Gideon came close, but it wasn't that. Babel wasn't that. The Ninth House for damn sure wasn't that. I'm looking for that fantasy or sci-fi book that I just like, whoa, I see why people read this genre. Legends and Lattes wasn't that. I'm waiting for that. I think it's going to come this year. It always does. I get one every single year, but it ain't yet. And the last book we read was Avika and the Hollywood Wives. This book just ain't that good. It's just not that good. It's clunky. It's clunky. The main character does bizarre things. It doesn't feel real, and I hate books like that. I hate books where it's like, I can go on any ride. You can take me on any ride and I'm down. I will strap in. But you gotta make me feel like something about this is real. Something about this is real, and in a certain world, this could happen. That is not this book. This book feels like a knockoff Evelyn Hugo. And I don't even like Evelyn Hugo. So what the hell is this gonna do for me? I just did not enjoy this book. It didn't feel real. The main character wasn't good. The conflict of it all just isn't that interesting, honestly. So if you're one of those people who are just curious as to how this book ends, I promise you, come up with all the theories on how this book could end, and none of them will be as interesting as you think it could be. So no, this video was flop. It's giving floppiana, but hey, we read 4 books for what it's worth. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.